What's up, my people? It's your favorite light M Boogie in this thing. Welcome to another amazing episode of the Can Be Broken podcast, where we are shining light on the darkness that is domestic violence and abuse. This is season 2. Welcome to the show. If you've never been here before, we got 3 simple goals: to educate, empower, and encourage. We are here to educate anyone who's never been in an abusive ship, does not understand abusive ships, has never been around it, and are just so curious as to why people stay or why they return. So we're going to find out today. We are here to empower all of our survivors to stand up and share your story without shame, fear, guilt, or judgment, because you are strong, you are powerful, and your voice deserves to be heard. And to anyone who is currently suffering in silence, listen, you are not alone. You are not crazy. Abuse is not normal. Your feelings are valid. And despite how it may look and feel in this very moment, there is always a way out, and we encourage you to safely seek support. Y'all know what it is. We got to hop up in this thing so we can rise above these insecurities, release the burdens of shame and guilt, and revive our God-given power, purpose, and passion the confidence way, because we about to light it up. All right, y'all, we are back. We are back with another episode, and I'm super excited, as always, to introduce today's guest, who is a writer, author. We're going to say the key. She's the key, or she has the key that's going to open the doors for a lot of people who have been in these types of situations. So I am super excited to share this space with this amazing, vivacious light, but the world knows her as Dawna in the building. Pew, 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 pew. Dawna. How are you doing today, sis?
I am good.
Yeah,
A little sore. A little
a little
sore.
sore.
A little sore. That was a long motorcycle trip.
Hey,
That was a
hey,
long trip.
if you need a bike expert, can we call you a bike expert?
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely.
I mean, after a full week out there, I feel like I'm talking to an expert. Y'all hit up Dawna, because she be out
That's
there on them
me.
roads.
I've
She
ridden
be
every Harley
burning.
that exists, and I've ridden everything else.
That's amazing. I have a best friend who rides bike. Well, she doesn't. I ain't gonna say that. She has a bike. She rides occasionally. But I know that I can't imagine how free it is to be on the open road, like especially when it's a safe situation, but just be out there, just going.
Yes.
And I feel like that is a metaphor for where we are in life post abusive ships.
That's right.
And I'm just excited to dive into your story, to share your story with the world so that people who have or are currently still there know, hey, this is not the end. It doesn't have to be the end. At some point, when you wake up, there is a door that you can walk out, and it's a
That's right.
better life on the other side. It's going to be scary at first,
That's going to be hard.
but it's going to be worth it.
Hell yes, it's worth it.
It's so worth it. So I'm
Cool.
gonna open it up like I always do, Dawna. My first question is always, and probably always will be, when you were growing up, did you ever see or witness or personally experience abuse in your household or in the neighborhood or any kind of establishment from older people or people your age that you remember?
Absolutely. I grew up in foster care.
Really?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
There's nothing stable about a foster care childhood. And you're constantly moving from place to place. This place doesn't have room, so they move you here. You just like a piece of paper in a box. They just move you around back and forth, back and forth. You never have anything that's yours. You're in an environment with kids from all over that have been through all kinds of things, and so it's never stable. Plus, there was a lot of sexual abuse with my father and my grandmother's boyfriend, and
Your biological father?
yes, and multiple foster fathers.
So how old were you when you ended up in foster care?
6.
So before you were 6, you were sexually abused by your biological father.
I was abused at 8, but the great grandmother's boyfriend was before. Yes.
Your great grandmother's boyfriend
Yes.
before you were 8 years old.
Yes. Like
Your
5.
Is this your dad's mom?
No, this is my grandmother's mother's. boyfriend.
I mean, I'm sorry, is this on your mom's side or your dad's side?
My mom's. My mom was only 16 when she had me.
So where was she?
She came and went as she that was convenient to her.
Okay.
She was an addict,
Okay.
and the first narcissist in my life. As I started writing this book, I started realizing that she was the first. And she left me with my grandmother, had a boy after me and put him with my grandmother, my great grandmother, and then came up to the door one day with a third baby and gave that to my great grandmother. So my great grandmother raised two of her kids, and my grandmother tried to raise me, and I just ended up in foster care.
Did your grandmother not have the capability? Do you feel like you were rebellious or just angry? Like what happened for your
I
great
was a
grandmother to be able to raise people?
My grandmother sat at the table with beer and her card deck all day long. She was a complete alcoholic, and I guess she was depressed. Of course, she was depressed if she was drinking like that. But I mean, meals were once in a while, and yeah, there wasn't much in my life that was stable up until this point.
That's wild.
Yeah, I
Whoops.
aged out of foster care at 17. They weren't gonna, most foster kids are told that they'll be transitioned. None, none.
It's just get out and figure it out on your own.
Exactly. I was 17 years old. I waited till I had enough credits. I knew they were going to kick me out, so I left.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Did you, so with your great grandmother's boyfriend, did you ever tell anyone about this?
They were actually my grandmother and my great grandmother would be around when he would force us to kiss him, and they thought that was hilarious. So he could give us a quarter. Put a hole in his pocket so you can reach in and get the change out of his pocket, but you don't grab change.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. I tried to prosecute him and they told me they wouldn't put me on the stand, but they did. And so I froze up and the case was thrown away.
How old were you?
10?
This is okay. I didn't get no warning to this conversation. This
Oh,
is
this story goes back to birth.
what?
Yes.
Okay, because my first speed bump was kissing him so you could get a quarter, and people look the other way because it's like they make it like it's normal.
Yes.
And this isn't even your biological, even if it was, that's still, I don't, that's not my cup of tea. Like, I would not force or encourage
Even my own
my
child.
children. I don't even do that. You know what's crazy too? The Harpo over here would make me kiss my son when he was like infant baby on the mouth. And I'm like, I don't want to. And he would kept pressuring me and kept pressuring me and kept pressuring me to do that. And that's not how I was raised. I was like, I love on my baby. I'm very affectionate, but I don't like, to me, that's just odd, you know? And I know there are parents who do that, and I'm not judging anybody, but that was not comfortable.
Yeah.
But this
And if
man,
it's not comfortable for you, it's not comfortable for you.
right. But this man is your great, great, not even yours, just the boyfriend.
The boyfriend, he just lived in another room in our house. Yeah. And you had to walk through his room to get anywhere in the house. To get to the kitchen, you had to walk through. To get to the front door, you had to walk through. So there was no avoiding him. And make your stomach crawl every time you knew you had to go through there. You just make excuses trying not to.
He would put a hole in his pocket.
Hmm. Hmm. As you're walking up the street to the convenience store to get some candy,
I've
pulling it
never
out.
heard that before.
Yeah, pulling it out on the porch. When I told my grandmother, "Oh no, I just showed her a turtle." Well, where'd the turtle go? Where's the turtle? Nobody asked any
What?
questions. Yeah. I mean, it was bizarre, and nobody did a thing. From what I hear, my mother was another one that he touched, his own daughter, you know, and
And
nobody did a
so
thing.
you, so all this happens, this is happening before you're 8 years old.
Yes, before foster care and every time they sent me back.
And then how did you end up going to court over, like who took you, who believed you to take you, and then they put you on the stand?
My mother used to try to talk us into telling her if anything was going on. And after a few, I mean, every time we saw her, she'd drill us about it. The same story about what happened to her. And one day I came out and told her, well, that kind of turned our lives upside down for another way because as soon as I said something, she grabbed the phone and called DSS immediately and then conned my great grandmother into giving her my brother and sister. And so when she finally got a hold of us, all of a sudden everything changed. I went back into foster care just a few months later because she was doing drugs in the house and she wasn't, and she was flipping out in front of us and running away from home. And she'd pack a paper bag, a paper shopping bag full of clothes and go stand downstairs inside the front door. Or she'd even cross the street and get on the bus and leave me and my little brother alone.
And you're 10.
Yeah. So after when she finally realized that I wasn't going to cooperate with her way of being, she called DSS and put me in foster care, kept my brother and sister and my two littler sisters, and said I was older, I understood more, I had to go.
Wow. Do you think that she got addicted to drugs? Do you think that that had anything to do with what she experienced with your great grandmother's boyfriend?
It could have. It could have.
Because he's obviously been around for a while. If your mom is now 26 and you're just now going to court about what you experienced, she never went about what she experienced.
Or the daughter.
So walk me through this. The court told you or your attorney told you, "Hey, don't worry, you tell us what you need to tell us. They're not going to put you on the stand about it. They're just going to, like, how did they convince
From the
you
very
that it'll be
get-go,
safe?"
they told me I wouldn't have to testify. I just
So
had to
how are
tell
they
them what
expecting to
happened.
prosecute?
I don't know. They sent me to all the psychologists with the dolls and all that kind of stuff, and it was about a 6 month process. And then all of a sudden, they kept telling me the whole way, you're not going to have to testify. If you have to testify, you'll do it from somewhere else, and he won't be there. Sorry, but that's not what happened. I walked in, and he was sitting in front of me, and and that was it. Case closed.
You couldn't say anything.
I couldn't say a word.
Were you afraid that he would retaliate, or were you just so shocked to be in his presence? Because at this point,
Honestly, I was shocked to be lied to again. Because now I don't trust you.
mhm,
I'm not going to tell you anything else. And anything else that happened after that, I didn't tell them. The foster fathers and everybody else. No, I didn't tell them anything because I knew they weren't going to help.
oh my gosh. This is why people don't talk.
That's exactly why.
People don't get it. Like, everybody's so quick to criticize and judge the person who's been abused. But this is one of the many reasons why people don't talk. And you're like a whole child. Like, nothing about you is mature.
No,
And I can't imagine how terrified, because this is a grown man. And then you're around all these other adults. And while you're going through that process, you've been in and out of other foster homes where you've been abused by those guys.
oh, that came after. Yeah, right
That
after.
came after 4.
11 years old was the next one. And the next one was using a fake name, changed his name from another name he had before, became a foster parent, molested who knows how many kids, lost the license in Massachusetts when my case was found out because my foster sisters told, moved to New Hampshire and started working at a daycare. And if you look up his name, and I'll tell you his name later, he went to prison for videoing molesting the little kids at the daycare. Got out of prison and did it again. Oh, yeah, it's in Keene, New Hampshire news and everything else.
It
And I almost
always,
blamed myself a little bit because I felt like if I had actually told, then
mhm.
that may not have happened, but I didn't because my trust was gone.
I don't think that it's obvious that your testimony wouldn't have stopped it, because if he went to jail for it and then got out and still is able to go get another job around, like, isn't he supposed to have a record, but he's changing his name some kind of way?
He
And
changed his name. It was when I first heard his mother call him that name, I was like, that it started with an H, and I was like, well, that it's a K. It's not H.
mhm.
And then his wife told me that he changed his name
And
when they
she
became.
knew.
Oh, yes. His wife. Oh, let me tell you this part. When it was found out what was going on, we were home one day, and one of my oldest foster sister was her son's girlfriend. And I said, where did so and so go? Oh, they went to New Hampshire to plan where they were going to kill you.
What?
Yes. Yep. I remember it plainly. Remember the old windows that had the weight in the side? My
Yeah.
job was I was in the middle of pulling those apart, taking the weight out, taking the window down to wash it and put it back in as she said it. And I about dropped the window out the window.
The foster mom told you
Hmm.
this.
When I told her what he had done at one point, she threw an orange at me and called me a whore.
My mind cannot piece together how this keeps happening, because for all of the people out there who are good citizens, who would be great parents, who want to be foster parents, it's like they're taken through the ringer and they're
Oh, yeah.
never approved to adopt or foster. But then the jugheads out there and the harpos, for some reason, keep getting and collecting children and collecting children and collecting. Like, I can't figure out how this is how. What, do you have to be sketchy to be approved? Like, how are we missing all of these signs?
That's always been my question. How did they not know? How did they not know? No background checks, I understand. I was there in 87, but no background check? How were you able to get out of that and end up back in New Hampshire at a daycare center
Again,
as the cook?
that's wild. She's helping.
Hmm. Oh, he went back. They were back together from what I hear after he got out of prison. So now we're in the early 2000s and she's still okay with it. And they had 6 kids of their own.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 5 girls and 1 boy. Yep.
And they fostered who knows how many. Have you ever kept in touch with their children?
No, I didn't get along with them at all. I spoke to one of my foster sisters, but she's best friends with their daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so she wants to protect her.
So were you the only person that was the whistleblower of everything that had happened?
Now, in that case, I didn't even say anything. My foster sisters did.
Who did they tell?
They're social workers.
Because you told them or they witnessed it?
They witnessed it. It was a constant thing. One of my foster sisters would announce herself if before she came upstairs if she knew that we were both up there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm coming upstairs. Yep. Everybody in the house knew.
And you were the only one in the house that he was doing this to
Hmm.
at 11.
At 11. Yep. At first, he acted like he hated my guts, didn't want me there, wouldn't talk to me, and then started taking me out places to go buy gifts and stuff. Like, for some reason, he decided I needed drawing paper and colored pencils. So he took me from Revere, Mass to Lynn, 45 minutes away to go get paper and colored pencils. Didn't make any sense to me even that day. Music tapes, playing music in the car, telling me he was going to take me to Georgia and marry me at 11 years old. Yeah. I mean, this was some freaking.
And everyone in the house knew this.
Everybody in the house knew it. Yeah, the one that I said was best friends with my foster sister that I spoke to, her husband lived with in the house. Their 17-year-old daughter had ran away, got pregnant, and came back and got married. And the foster father talked the son-in-law into second dibs, I guess.
On you.
Hmm.
You can't, ain't
And
no.
when that came out, I was in the kitchen washing dishes, and I heard the foster or the daughter start screaming, and I walked in the living room, and the foster mother, was on her lap trying to hold her down because she was coming in the kitchen after me.
Because her husband was molesting you.
Yeah, because he tried.
How
Yeah,
old was he?
17, 19,
So both of
19.
them, okay, so the daughter and her boyfriend or now husband were around the same age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What kind of crazy?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Oh, it didn't end. So I got moved from there to Chelsea, Mass. And the foster brother was best friends with the son of the other foster mother.
Are
You
you
know,
kidding?
the
How
the
are they
19-year-old.
not?
Exactly. Okay, this it gets even better. So the daughter's husband was best friends with the son of the new foster mother. Hmm. You see where this is going?
Who's in charge? And like this is equally, maybe more so because y'all at this point you're children, as bad as them, as how they don't protect the victims in court, how the attorneys and the judges completely, it's like they just completely go blind to all of the signs that there's history after history after history of abuse that you as a judge has experienced through different people, but
Hmm.
it's always going to be the same kind of setup, the same kind of structure. Like, why do we not have people in the courtroom who understand the psychological abuse and understand how the victim is acting? It blows my mind how they expect a victim of any kind of situation, abuse, like bullying, armed robbery, murder, like all of these things, witnesses,
Trauma.
they expect them to sit on the stand and be quiet and not have
Hmm.
outbursts. They expect them to sit there and listen to people lie and not have outbursts.
Yes.
And then try to hold you into contempt because you're emotional. Like, I'm clearly not
This is your
anywhere.
first chance to get your emotions out. This
Your
is the
first
first time.
opportunity to be heard by somebody that might believe
Exactly.
you.
And probably the first time you're face to face with the person who did it. How much emotion do you think is involved in that? Because you've had all that time to process, and now here they are.
And they put you in another house where the brother or the son was best friends with.
Yes, it almost sounds like a fiction book.
Was he an only child?
Oh no, there was a younger son. And the
So
younger,
there's
yeah. No, the younger son was just the prince of the house. He was the same exact age as me, and but he was a little, Puerto Rican kids, the boys are royalty.
so they take you out of they take you out of an abusive household, foster home,
Hmm.
where you're being molested and sexually assaulted by two men. And then they put you with a family. Not only is not only is there relations between the two households, but they put you with a family that has two boys.
And that would have been fine because there were 13 kids total in the house at one particular time,
What?
plus her two. Yes, the last house there was up to 13 kids.
How many
She
bedrooms? Like, how big was the house?
When you came in the back door, there was one with two bunk beds and one of those. Remember the foamy pull-out couches that you could lay on the floor as a bed? So that served as a fifth if necessary, because she also babysitted. So that was the charges bed. And then you walk through the kitchen, and there was another bunk bed and a single. And then at the front of the house, there was another bunk bed. And then downstairs, there was another bunk bed. And then her oldest son had his own room.
So we saying it's 15 kids in this house. Are all of these places with the bunk beds actual bedrooms, or are some of them like living spaces where they're like, we're gonna put a bunk bed here?
No, they were functional. They were absolute. They were functional bedrooms.
So you
I
have
hate when
15
that happens.
kids, 5 bedrooms.
She ran that house like it was military. If you
Did she
wanted
have
a
a
drink,
husband?
huh?
Did she have a husband?
Yes. And he didn't say a word. But if you wanted a drink, there were 4-ounce cups in the cabinet. Now, if you wanted anything besides water, you had to ask permission to open that
Mm-hmm.
refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
I made the mistake of asking for seconds one night. She poured her food on my plate, opened up the freezer, and just went on with cooking everything she found in that freezer. And I was not allowed to get up all night. I had to sit there and eat everything she cooked because I asked for seconds. And her husband sat there and quietly ate his dinner and got up and walked away from the table.
Donna, this is outrageous. How are you not? So you're what at this age now? 12?
Mm. Yeah,
And did you have to you didn't stay with her until you were
I stayed with
17?
her until I aged out.
Are you serious?
Hmm. Yeah, I was up for adoption from 11 years old, and they kept trying to introduce me to parents and families and stuff. I'm not a toy. You can't just bounce me around from place to place. So I finally had her take guardianship of me so they'd leave me alone. I didn't
Because
want
you
to go
didn't
to the
trust
end.
anybody anyways.
Oh, hell no, I didn't trust anybody.
Wow. I never really thought about that side of foster care because it's like you're not adopting me, you're just holding me until a certain age, really.
Hmm.
But then you
I'm legally
have
yours, but I'm not yours.
the people who are looking for children and they're like, hey, pull her out. Let's go dance and pony show.
Hmm.
And
And nobody wanted a 13, a 14, 15-year-old girl. No one wants a teenager.
were they homeschooling you or were y'all all going to school?
We went to regular public school.
How was that?
Depended on the town, really did. I had more problems, and I hate to say, I had more problems in the white town than I did in the mixed town.
So staying in the house from 12 to 17, y'all went to multiple different schools?
Elementary, high school, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. But each foster home comes with a whole different school system. And so, I mean, you could be in two or three school systems in 1 year.
But for your last part of foster care, you were at the same school system till you graduated.
Hmm.
No issues at school.
Never. Tell you what I did. I was in 766 special needs classes until fifth grade. Sixth grade, my mother got me and they mainstreamed me straight into regular classes. No help, no nothing. They expected me just to pick up where everybody else was and keep going. That was hard because I didn't even learn to read till third grade.
Wow.
So here I am having to do the same work as the other kids, and I didn't understand what they were doing, and it was frustrating as hell. Nobody liked me. Nobody wanted to talk to me. My mother wouldn't buy me clothes, so I had two pairs of pants and two shirts that I had to wear that whole time. And I'd try to mix them up, but they didn't really go together. And kids would ask me all the time, "How come you always wear the same clothes?" I mean, that's hard for a little kid.
Yes. For a whole year, you had the same two pairs of pants and shirts to wear to school.
Yep. Remember the old stirrup pants back in 86, 87? That's what I had. One pair had ribs in it and it was shiny, and one pair was plain with little blue stitching in it. That's what I had.
But you were only with your mom for that 1 year.
Not even a year, just a few months.
And she called, or somebody called on her.
I don't know exactly what was going on, but I know she was still using at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we went to the health department in Chelsea,
Mm-hmm.
the next town. And we were walking in, and I heard her having a conversation. We're walking down toward one of the offices, and she tells my social worker, "Yeah, I need her out of
Stop.
here. Hi, baby girl. Hi, beautiful. Oh,
Okay. Okay. Hey, hey, mommy.
what's on your nightgown?
You can go back upstairs, baby.
What's on your nightgown? I can't see
If you're
it.
not going to talk, you can go back upstairs. Are you going to talk?
My name's
Okay, she
Dawna.
asked you
You
a
can say hi
question.
to me. I don't bite. I really don't. Is that a dress or a nightgown?
A nightgown
What's it got on the front? I see
and
shiny pink.
Minnie Mouse.
Wow.
All right. Love you too. Back upstairs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Night,
Adios.
beautiful.
Please close the door.
Love
Thank you. They
it.
see a camera and they just act so
Well, at least she doesn't shy away from it.
bananas.
I like it. Let her be her. She had to come make sure you was okay.
She had to do something. That's my little, she gonna seek me out. She's the heat seeker. I'm like, goodness, I can't hide from this one.
Is
Oh
that
my
your
gosh.
youngest?
Yes, she's the baby
That's
baby. So I
why.
have a 6-year-old and then I have twin girls and she's the baby of the twins. Yep. Yep, that's the one.
You were gonna get one of them.
That one is it. That one is it. Oh my gosh. Okay, but I love her. I love her.
Comic
She's the
relief.
she's the full circus. The
It's
full
good to have one of them in the house.
It is. It is. It's always entertaining. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember where we were. I'm so sorry.
All right, you asked me how I ended up back in foster care. Well,
Yes. 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 Yes.
we were walking into the health center one day, and she's having a conversation with my social worker, and
Hmm.
I heard her say, "Yeah, I need her to go. I haven't been able to spend any time with my husband since she got here." And
Wow.
my legs buckled out from there were like two stairs that you had to walk up that had a railing, and my legs just buckled up from underneath me because I knew she was talking about me. I was like, what did I do? I did what you asked me to do all these years. I told you what you wanted to hear, and now I gotta go.
She's 27 at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, I don't want.
I don't
And the
want this.
husband, is the husband still the boyfriend? Like, that's not your dad who she was with.
No, my stepfather, she's been with him since 80, 81.
Okay.
Yeah,
How's y'all's relationship now?
I don't have one. Don't want
Wow.
one.
But both of them are still living.
Mm-hmm.
Golly.
I was just up there where they are. Day before yesterday. I don't want nothing to do with them.
Dang. So you make it all the way through high school. You don't get on any drugs. You do your work, like nothing besides, I don't want to say it like that.
I didn't even date. I didn't go out. I was
Was
the
it because
kid
you
that
just
came
didn't
home
trust
after,
anyone?
huh?
It's because you didn't trust anyone, or because you couldn't because of
No, I
the
just did.
family
I
that you're
just
with?
did. I was the good kid. I came home after school. I did my homework. I did my chores. I wasn't the kid out running the streets. I went from the reason why I was saying about the sixth grade is because after that I realized this was my make or break. And so when seventh grade hit and I had a new chance at a new school system, I took it on. I got straight A's from seventh grade to 12th grade. The
Wow.
reason why is because I was told I could go to the vocational school.
Mm-hmm.
And if I got my grades up, I could do that. And so I spent all those years getting my grades up. And then my foster mother, the last narcissist, she would sit outside the school while we were in school and spread rumors about me.
What?
I would look out the window from my classroom and she's sitting down there in her car waiting for us, but she's got a group of boys and kids around the car.
To
And I thought,
kids?
yeah,
I'm
I
done.
thought, well, she's
I'm
been
done.
raising kids in this town. She's been in this town. Maybe they just know her. But then she would come out with, yeah, the boys at school said you were doing this. Huh?
I'm so done.
I did what? Oh, I haven't even got to the best parts. I really haven't.
I'm so
I
done.
haven't.
Donna, this is
I was allowed 15 minutes to go to the store if I requested permission and I, signed a congressional letter to be able to walk up the street to the convenience store. But I had to buy her something while I was there. That was the stipulation. And God forbid it took 11 minutes and 15 seconds for me to get there and get back, or, 15 minutes and 15 seconds. It was ridiculous. I mean, all the other kids were allowed to go out, not me. So she started telling my social worker that I was doing things at school, and doing things at home that I was not doing. So my
why
social
you?
don't know. So I called my social worker and I tried to talk to her. My social worker's solution was to come to my house and sit on the floor in my bedroom with the foster mother in the room instead of talking to me. So nothing got accomplished. She would pull what she called family meetings. If any kid in the house was making a noise at night, we all had to get up and go sit in the kitchen at the table in the middle of the night for hours and listen to her talk down to every single one of us, telling each of us stories about the other one. There was even a fist fight one night. This that she walked in and caught one of the kids playing with himself, and so then the boy that he was gross, and that one of the girls did, and this, and she, and you don't know it, but I caught so and so stealing from you, or
That's insane.
so when I was 15, no, 16, just right before, about before I left, got up for school one morning. My mother was allowed to come for weekend visits once a month. And for the time that she did do it, which was a very short time, she just stopped coming after a while. But she would take me to the grocery store and get me some stuff to bring back to the house. And I got chocolate chip muffins, the Otis Spunkmeyer muffins. And I had them on the counter from Sunday. This was Wednesday. I remember this like it was yesterday. And there was 2 muffins left. And I grabbed a cup of coffee and I grabbed the thing of muffins and I had them on the table in front of me. And I opened up my muffin and I started eating it. And she walked by behind me and said, "You didn't offer me one." I said, "Well, there's one right there. You can have it." The next thing I felt was that second muffin hit the top of my head as she ground it into the top of my hair. With all the other kids sitting at the table, and I'm just like this with crumbs falling in my face and eyes and all down my clothes. 5 minutes before we're supposed to walk out the door for school. Luckily, I looked up at the TV and they called school off for snow because I didn't know how I was going to get that out of my hair and get to school on time because she used to like to mess with that. I had a perfect record. I was there every single day on time. And she would just decide I wasn't going to school one day and try to keep me at home. That was her way of doing it. She thought if she did that, I'd have to stay home. So
So you
I,
went from being abused, molested, to being in a house where the mother is bullying you.
oh, oh, yeah, there were months and months where me and her did not speak to each other. And she would always wait until like a couple of days before she knew my mother was coming to get me. And then she would start an argument about something. Absolutely nothing sometimes. Just, "You're just not going this weekend." So she would let my mother drive all the way to the house and come to the door and then say she's not going and slam the door in her face. So of course my mother just quit. I'd get packed up on Saturday morning like I was going. The knock would come on the door at 10 a.m. I'll say B would go to the door, open the door, say she's not coming, and slam it in her face. No explanation, no reason.
Did any of the other kids like ever come to you and ask you if you were okay or check on you
No,
since she's
no. Everybody just didn't want it to be them. She picked on one other boy, used to make fun of him, tell him you smell like cheese, right in front of everyone. You need to take a shower and blah, 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 blah. I mean, she would humiliate people.
it's awful.
She'd get up in the morning when we were getting ready for school. She'd come in the room and, "Time for school. You have 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes." And then she'd look over at the mirror and she'd go, "So and so, you might as well get out of the mirror. You can't make ugly beautiful. Just walk out of the room." Terrible. No build up of self-esteem anywhere. It was just cut downs, cut downs, cut downs, cut downs, cut downs, cut downs, chores
So
and cut
you
downs.
did you graduate and walk across like did you have go to school and go to the actual
No, 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 I'm not done yet. You're gonna
some
love it.
told me you didn't get
Yeah,
to
you're gonna love it. So one morning I was getting ready to walk out the door, and as you came out of our bedroom door, the freezer was on one side of the door, and that's where I'd put my book bag. So I grabbed my book bag and I'm about to walk out the door, and she says, "No, you can't go to school today. We've got to talk." So we'll talk after school. And I just went to turn around to go out the back door, and she grabbed the straps on my backpack, pulled me backward, threw herself in front of the back door like this, arms and legs open against the back door like a Spanish novela. "Go out the front door." Okay, so I turn around to walk through the house to walk out the front door. She comes running past me, goes into the front hallway, does the same thing at the front door. Now, to the side of the door, there's a glass table that we put the mail on. I don't know how she planned this, but she stood at the door and decided she was going to pass out. But she went under the table. No, if she passed out, she'd have hit the table. She went under the table and laid there with her foot up against the door so I couldn't get out. Her aunt, who lived upstairs, came down and she looked at the scene and she just started laughing and she said, "Go, go, go, go." I said, "I can't get out the door." So she helped me get her foot out of the front of the door so I could sneak through. This is the insanity. This is the insanity.
Hang on. You live with 15 kids, 14 other kids,
I think 9 at that time. Yeah.
her husband,
Her 2 sons.
and then her aunt lives there too?
No, upstairs apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was a Boston duplex.
But you can hear everything that's going on.
Yep.
So she comes downstairs, she helps you get out for school.
Hmm. And then I start hearing sirens and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I expected them to pick me up at school, and I never heard another word. So I didn't go home for a week.
Where did you go?
I went to a friend's house about 3 hours away. So I would go to school, go to my job at Logan Airport, and then I would take the train and the bus all the way to Quincy from Chelsea, which is, it takes hours. In the morning, I would get up as early as I possibly could, catch the first bus, and make it to school 15 minutes after everyone else. So my guidance counselor knew what was going on. He just let me do it that way because it was the only way I could. But I was not missing school. I'd do my homework on the way home, and then I'd do it again the next morning. Get
So
up.
why'd you end up going back?
The woman I was staying with, I guess my foster mother talked her into sending me back.
So she found out where you were going.
I was the good kid who told her where I was going.
I'm
I
going
was
to
the
go
good
live.
kid that if I was going to be 5 minutes late, I called you and told you I was going to be 5 minutes late. I told you every step I was going to take after school and what time I would be home.
And so when you told her you were staying with your friend, she calls your friend and says, "Hey, you need to tell her she has to come back home now."
Yeah, about a week.
So you go back home. Does she punish you for your week of peace? Like what happens?
She was distant, kept her distance from me for a little while, but also knew that she had the power.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was January. Yeah, right after Christmas, it was January. She had kept going on with crap. I mean, so this was after I came back and she just kept on from there. And so finally I went to the Greyhound station and I bought a bus ticket to go to my mother's house. And I came home and back, the big paper and it kind of spools together.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the Greyhound envelope and I opened it up and I went, "Oh, wow, look, this city, this city, this city, this city, this city. I told you I'd leave." And I left. Went all the way halfway across the country to Kyoto, Oklahoma.
This is after you graduated or before you graduated?
Yep. This was after I had the credits and could leave.
Oh,
My
so
best
because you
friend
got
in
the
school sent me my cap and gown and my diploma after graduation. How did I get to Oklahoma? Well, I got a call in the guidance counselor's office. I hadn't talked to my parents in probably 2.5 years. Just stop coming, stop calling, everything. And I get a call saying, "I know you're graduating. If you can get down here to see your mother, we'll help you get back." So I spent my money and I went down there, and 2 days later, I had a job.
wow. And that was all she wrote.
Oh, yeah. And it continued on and on. So 3 years in, no, a year and a half in, about a year and a half in, because I was 19, I met my first narcissist, Harpo. And of
While
course,
you were
I
working?
jumped as fast as I could just to get out of the situation I was in.
How did y'all meet?
We were working at the same furniture factory in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
How old was he?
62, 95, 33.
And you were 19.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about him that made you attracted to him?
First
To
person
be,
who ever showed me attention. Honestly.
and he knew just what he was doing.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. This one was bad. This was the abusive one.
So y'all worked together. How long did y'all work together before he started laying on the charm and showing you that
Oh,
he's interested?
immediately. I was working in a department. There were open bay doors, and he was working in the next department, and I could just feel his eyes on me. And a couple of times I looked over and caught him sitting there like this, like a dumbass. And then he came up, and then he then he came over one day and asked me if I always sit there alone for lunch. I said, yeah. He said, well, next if you're here tomorrow, I'll come over and sit with you. Tried to be nice guy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the other women who worked there said that's not your kind of guy. Well, yeah, well, I don't know what my type of guy is.
You were warned.
I was warned. I was told he was a beer drinker and a hellraiser. He was a lot worse than that. He was the devil himself.
Wow. Shout out to that coworker. We
Mm.
appreciate you, girl.
She
Listen,
should have choked me.
yours is not what you want. I just want to say, like, because it's easy, it's really important to me that people who know that somebody's abusive just go ahead and tell the part. Like, if you have a relationship of some sort with the person that's about to be the next victim, or even if you don't, but you're related to the abuser, no, the next victim is not always, in most cases, probably not going to believe what you have to say. Oh, they're not going to be like that with me. Oh, I'm different. I get that. I get all of that. But I still feel like, as your human duty, just at least say something.
I
You
did to
know?
the one after me, and she was 19 too, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm like, just say something, whether
I
they
did. I
believe you or
told her
not.
what he was, and she said, I know, it's okay.
No.
It wasn't okay.
So must have already been abused.
Something was up with her. She had two kids, and they were adopted, and she had an open adoption, so there was something going on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it didn't take a few months, and he had made the adopted parents move to Canada because he wouldn't leave them alone, from what she says.
Wow.
Mhm.
They took her kids
And
and
just lived
moved.
in Canada. So
Okay,
then
so he
she had a kid with him too, and he took her kid, just like he took mine.
okay, hold up. Hold up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're 19, he's 33, he's watching you for a couple of days. Then your coworker's like, that's not what you want. You're like, well, I don't really know what I want. He seems nice, he seems genuine. How long of the nice guy act does he put on before, like, and what does that look like? Does he take you out? Is it always just a lunching? Like, does he prioritize you? How did you feel like the attention
He
was
wanted me to
positive
be with
attention?
him at lunch and breaks all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went and talked to my father so that he could take me out. And he acted like he had manners, and he acted like he was really genuinely interested.
And your dad, this is your stepdad?
Hmm.
You're 19,
My stepdad worked at the same factory, so they met too.
but he's like 37, right? 30. No, your stepdad would be
I don't
39
even know. I don't even know.
because your mom had you at 16. Oh, wait, but how old was your stepdad? He
Yeah,
was 2 years older, right, than your mom?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Mm.
I know he's a little bit older than her.
Yeah, so he's easily at least 39.
Hmm.
Because you're 19. If your mom was 16, that would make you 35, her 35 when you're 19. So he's at least 37.
You know, that never even occurred to me that she was that young when I got to Oklahoma. It never even occurred to me.
That's why. So this 33-year-old is going to this 37-year-old to be like, hey, I'm attracted to your stepdaughter. Doo. That's a whole weird dynamic.
Yeah, we'd all sit together for lunch and breaks and stuff.
But I need people to understand while I'm over here like calculating. I know I probably look weird. People like, why is that important? It's very important to me because like age is so important in a lot of these cases. And I'm like,
Life
yes,
experience. Yeah.
yes, to you as a 19-year-old, it feels, wow, you're really taking this serious. Wow, you're talking to my stepdad. And people have to understand, like, this is a 33-year-old talking to a 37-year-old. It's not like a 33-year-old talking to a 50-year-old, an actual father figure to him. They're
Yep.
basically buddies.
The same age. Yeah, now that you put it that way, yeah.
And it's like, why your stepdad doesn't say, but she's only 19. Why that doesn't click, we don't know. But the fact that the flag, other than that, is him constantly wanting to spend every of like all of your breaks and every time you're at lunch with you. And when you're not used to getting attention or you need the attention, like you're in a mental emotional space where you just need to feel like somebody loves you, you take that as a sign of positive interest, and it's not. Because why can't we have our own thing sometimes?
Yeah, exactly. Because I
What
was
were
used
you?
to sitting alone. I'm an
Yeah.
introvert. I don't like people.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
want to sit over here by myself. Now I got someone, so
Yep.
yeah, it started like that, just like you're saying, no time to yourself. I had to quit my job because I
How
had
did
no
he
way
how
to.
did he deliver that to you?
Well, he got a job at a different place, and he made sure that I guess he made sure his hours were different than mine so that he didn't have to be home when I went to work. So, or when I had to go to work.
Were y'all living together at this point?
Yeah, I jumped in and left my house that weekend.
That weekend, what?
The after our first date. So we had gone out probably a month after we met, and he had me living with him that weekend.
Whose idea was it?
His.
So he's like, well, babe, you might as well. I mean, we're having such a good time together. You might as well come
Well,
over
I was
here.
living in a house with no electricity and no water in the cold,
Mm.
and he said, you don't have to live like that. You can come live with me.
How long were you living like that?
The whole time I was in Oklahoma.
Which was how long at this point?
Mm, I got to Oklahoma March 21st, so it wasn't even that long. I got there March 21st of 95, 93, and I met him March 17th, 25,
Wow.
95.
So you were living like that for 2 years almost?
Hmm. Yeah, I was completely fooled. I was told I was coming down to visit my mother. I thought that was going to be a great thing. Oh, we've got a great life. We've got a farm in Oklahoma. Yeah. They picked me up from the bus station and a 60s model AMC Rambler with the windshield broke and a rope pulling the windshield wipers. I did not want to get off the bus. I wanted to form myself into the seat of the bus and just not get off the bus.
That is like that's not real life, Dawna.
Mm.
A rope pulling the windshield wipers
Yes, through the window. Yes,
with a
yes,
busted window out.
yes. Uh-huh. And within a
Oh
half
my
hour, she
gosh.
had to tell me how they didn't have any money, so I had to give them money to get food. Wasn't even there half an hour. 2 days. But I swear on my life, this story is true. She had hair down her back, the long 60s hippie hair. When I got there, she had taken a pair of scissors and cut it all in different lengths up to her head.
Because she's still on drugs?
I don't know what. I don't know at this moment. All I know is this broad she looks like a scarecrow. She gets up on Monday morning to go to the welfare office. She puts on a pair of plastic rain slickers. She puts on a green coat. She puts on one sneaker and one boot and goes down to the office because she said that's what the rest of the people around there look like. This woman is insane. And now I'm stuck here in the middle of bumfuck Oklahoma.
Hang on. So for 2 years, you're living with your mom and your stepdad with no water and no lights?
Oh my God. They dug a hand digger, spit it out. They hand dug a ditch in the backyard for the septic to flow into. This was an abandoned house next to the county dump. An abandoned house. She goes in there and sets up house in this abandoned house, digs a ditch out the backyard for the septic system. The house is constantly infested with flies because of this. The toilet is falling through the floor. In order to flush the toilet, you have to fill up a bucket out of the one faucet in the kitchen and dump it down it. In order to take a shower, you have to be the first one outside with the garden hose every night.
You were showering outside?
Yes, with the garden hose set up like a shower. I tell you what, the I've been through, girl.
How are they going to work every
Oh my
day?
God. By the time Arkansas is hot. And by the time I get home, I'd feel slimy and ugh. And the only hot water was what was gathered in the hose during the day. Anybody behind you got a cold shower.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're camping, they're basically nomads and just hopping on some property. So they don't have to pay bills. They don't have to pay city taxes. They don't have to pay all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a job and they're getting paid.
I got a job first.
No, ma'am. Go back upstairs.
I had to
You
get a
came
job.
down.
Yes. 2 days later, I was working at Pizza Hut. And when I wasn't working, I had to go donate plasma to give them the money. One of my mother's friends bought her a second car. An 81 Chevette, was in great condition. The day after I got there, this woman showed up with this car. I swear this story is true. I swear. The car was to get her from Oklahoma to Arkansas to work. That was the meaning of the car. So they could get a job and get a foot ahead. No. My mother went to work at the chicken plant for 2 days and decided, because you know how narcissists are, she deboned chicken better than anyone else there. And even the manager said that. And he brought people over and stuck bones in the chicken for her to find it. And she got carpal tunnel in both hands in 2 days. Yes. So now I needed to go get a job because my mother could not work.
So for 2 years, you're bathing outside of a house, outside.
Mm-hmm. Or at the river.
You're living in a house that nobody owns, that y'all don't own.
We don't own it. Nope.
And then all of a sudden, Harpo comes in and he's like, well, you shouldn't have to live like that. Just come live with
Nobody
me.
should have to live like that. Yeah. Hmm?
Did he find this out how you were living because he came to pick you up for the date? Or did you just kind of feel comfortable opening up to him about things?
Well, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I mean, I just told him because I'm just that point blank person. And when he came to the house, I mean, it was, and during the day, flies just flew everywhere. I never wanted to eat at home because there's flies in the food. There's flies everywhere. So when he said, "Let's go," I said, "Come on, let's go now."
You ain't got to
You're
tell
five
me
minutes late.
twice.
You're 5 minutes late. Let's go.
How soon was it after you moved in with him? Did he still give you like a little bit of tenderness, care, like a normal, healthy relationship, or did it automatically flip once you were in the house?
Automatically flipped. We were driving. I was not, if I went into the convenience store to pay for fuel or something, and the cashier was a male and he smiled at me, it was an automatic argument. So I had to go into the stores and hope and pray that the person behind the counter was female because I didn't want to have to explain what they said and what they meant by that because I handed them a dollar bill and they said, "Thank you, have a good day." We were driving down the road one day and a car pulled up next to us, and the chrome bumper kind of caught my eye. I'm a car person. And so I just looked over at the car. All of a sudden, a laugh right in the side of my face, right in my mouth. I wanted the guy in the car. What was I looking at that guy in the car for?
Had he hit you before that?
Nope.
That was the first time.
Hmm. Here we
Had
are in 4 lanes of traffic in each direction. Nowhere to go.
had you ever felt like you were you were truly in danger with him before that? Like I know the jealousy and the constant interrogation is intimidating, but did you ever feel physically in danger prior to that?
No, no. I knew that he was abusive because he used to tell the stories about how he abused his former relationships,
Why didn't you
like they
like
were funny. But I was a dumb kid. I didn't know any better. Oh, he
when he
wouldn't
would
do
tell
that to
you those
me.
things? What do you remember how you felt when he would tell you?
Like I was better than like he was telling me that I was better than those other girls and that he wouldn't do that to me, but they didn't do what they were supposed to do, so they deserved it
You've never seen a healthy, remotely healthy relationship in your
in
whole
my life.
19 years.
Yeah, my whole entire life.
You're 19. This Joker is 33.
Mm-hmm. Already got 3, 4, 5 kids.
He has
So,
5 kids.
not paying a lick of child support. He would put one number wrong on his social security number, so they'd never find him. Yeah, yeah, he never paid child support. By the way, I paid child support to him, but that's another subject.
Oh my
Yes, I did.
gosh,
Yep,
Dawna!
they made me pay child support, but he never had to pay for any of his kids.
Hold up.
Oh, we haven't even got that far yet.
So he's 33, you're 19. The first time he
Hmm.
hits you is because you're looking at some rims on somebody else's car and he thinks you're looking at the dude because he says in his brain you want him. And he just
Hmm.
hauls out and hits you.
Oh my God, he came in the house one night, went into the bathroom. He came in after work, went into the bathroom, came back out with a piece of my hair off the back of the toilet. Who was here? I mean, went off on me, screaming and yelling. Somebody was in his house. It's my hair. It's girl. It's my hair. For years, he would brought bit. I keep doing that. He basically put me in a corner and interrogate me about whatever situation he decided. He came in one night drunk and went into the medicine cabinet and pulled out baby powder from the back of the cabinet and wanted to know who brought that baby powder and why it wasn't why it was there, and then sprayed it all over me and all over the house. he gave me a beeper. So when I went on break at work, because we worked at separate places by this point, at break, I was to call him and sit on the phone with him the entire break. Well, I was to text him and tell him when I went on break so that he could call me from the payphone I was sitting in front of. So one night he didn't turn the beeper on at work, and I got my butt whipped because I didn't text him. What was I doing during break? And this was
How
just the
long?
beginning of it.
How long after he left to go to a different job? How long did you get to stay there before he said you can't work anymore?
I never got to keep a job more than a couple of months.
So
Ever.
you were still allowed to work. You just weren't allowed to work where y'all met.
I wasn't allowed to I wasn't allowed to work where he couldn't basically keep control over where I was, like a store or things like that. I did work at a store at one point, and he would come in, and I'd be standing there talking to a customer, and he'd start a complete flip out in the middle of the store because what am I doing with that guy? He's a customer. I'm helping him find something on a shelf. I knew you were doing blah, 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 blah. I knew it. Who's this guy? About so that I met him in March 95. I got pregnant in 97, and
You were with him for 2 years.
I was with him for 11 years total.
Did you ever feel like in the beginning, considering everything that you had already lived through, did you ever feel like this wasn't right, like this wasn't healthy?
I knew something was wrong, but I also didn't understand that it wasn't my fault,
Oopsie.
that there wasn't something I could do to change it.
So you were constantly trying to figure out how you could change yourself
Hmm.
to make everything better.
Well, and a lot of us girls back then were told once you're married, you have to stay married,
You
Catholic
have to
girls.
stay.
You have
So
to
y'all got
stay.
married.
No, we weren't even married, but my mother made it seem like that counted too. And so
Because
I was just stuck there. I had to deal with what I got.
people don't get it. Like the societal pressure, the family pressure, that another reason why people stay is so much pressure to not be condemned by your own family, condemned or the scarlet letter put on you for taking your own health and safety into your own hands. Like, I'm not leaving because my mom is telling me I can't leave. Well, you already live with him and you need to stay with him. Meanwhile, we completely miss the fact that you're getting advice from somebody who's been on drugs and hasn't been
Eh,
stable.
That woman hasn't had a stable day since she was born. That
When did
that
you
woman's
find
been
out
high since
about
like that woman's been high since her mama had drugs.
that's crazy. When did you find out about his other kids?
Oh, immediately.
So
It
he
was
just flat out told you?
oh yeah. Hmm.
Did did you ever see them? Because he
No,
wasn't paying child support. So how
no.
did he give you that? Like, how does he make that story something where you're like, that's not alarming to me to not want to be with this person?
Oh, because her father came and took her back to Missouri, so it wasn't his fault. Her father just showed up and took them, and he was never allowed to see his kids again.
So all of his previous, but his previous kids weren't all by the same person, right?
The first three were,
The
and then
first three.
there was another woman with a child, and she was cheating on him. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
cheated on him.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, everybody cheated. Nobody did, but everybody did.
I just need our people to hear what you're saying, because even if the lies were the truth, this man is not actively trying to be in his own kids' lives.
Yeah.
And anyone who has kids, man or woman, and they can't because of court order, or they're not actively trying to, like, that's a sign. Like, that is all the information you need. I don't care how nice they seem. You have
Unless you're a
children now.
dumb kid who has no other experience. And
Or
nobody's
you don't even
saying,
have to
hey,
be a dumb kid with no other experience. Like, this happens to people who have had other experiences.
yeah,
He had kids before we had kids, and I didn't take that as a red flag. And I'm like, we've got to start understanding that there's no way a person can be a good partner or spouse if they have children and they could have a relationship with them and they're choosing not to. I'm not
exactly.
talking about the situations where somebody has taken the kids and are saying you can't be, I'm not going to let you see my kids, or blah 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 blah. We're not talking about that. We know that exists. I'm talking about the people who could have these relationships and they're choosing not to. That tells you a lot about their character and who they are.
Absolutely.
And people
He,
need to get it.
he started seeing his the younger daughter while he was with me, and I don't know what happened, but one day she was there and they were playing in her room, and she came out and said, "I want to go home now."
Dang.
He he would not let me talk to her, and he took her home himself. And that always just kind of bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell happened in that room? It just bothered
Mm-hmm.
me.
So you were with this man. It's 2 years in, you get pregnant. He already has, you say he already has 5 kids, and then y'all get pregnant.
Hmm.
He's already got 5 kids. Then you get pregnant 2 years in.
Hmm.
Does that make you feel even more trapped after
He was
your mom?
terrible by then. Oh my God. He almost killed me when I was 6 weeks pregnant.
What happened?
He was accusing me of sleeping with the landlord. That was the landlord's baby. Well, he put in jail for child support. And the day that he came home, he went around the house like a panther. You know how that pacing and your hair standing up in the back of your neck, and you're not sure what's about to happen, but you know it ain't good. So he wouldn't eat dinner, storming around the house, just pacing from room to room. Finally decides he wants to go to bed. We lay down, and I start to fall asleep, and he jumps on top of my chest, facing toward me so that my arms are held down underneath him, and starts choking me. He choked me until I could feel like sensation moving down, and I had already peed myself. That's how far it had gotten, and I knew if it got to my legs, he was going to kill me. Well, 2 weeks before, he had put my head through a piece of drywall, and so the drywall was sitting up against the wall, waiting to be replaced. And so I reached over and kicked that drywall over on top of his head, and he got up and walked away like nothing ever happened.
Did he ever drink?
Hmm. Oh, yes. And would do
Most of
any
the
drug
time
he
when he was
found.
abusive,
Hmm.
was he drunk or sober? Or it didn't really matter?
Didn't really matter.
How did he get out of jail?
They just let him out.
Wait.
Yeah, oh, if we went into that, you would think there was some kind of conspiracy going on, but we're not going to go
Wait.
there.
But we don't have to go all the way there. I'm just so curious because I hear so often that people say, if the father's not, or the mother's not paying child support, you can take them to court and they can have a warrant put out, and so you don't have to have bail money. Like, they don't have to pay anything to come back out. It's just like, here, you sit down for a little bit and realize that if you don't start paying, you're gonna come back. Like,
That's what happened. More than once. More than
so they
once.
just arrest you, they hold you for a day, and then they let you go.
He was in there for 30 days. So I was working for a temporary service. This is how the one of the jail situations happened. The temporary service called me and said they had an immediate opening they needed to fill that night. And I said, well, he's already gone to work. I don't have a way to get there. I can come pick you up and bring you there. Great. Perfect. So I call Harpo and I tell him, look, this person at the employment office is going to come pick me up and bring me to work. Okay. On the way to work, we stopped at his work so that he could see who I was with and that I was telling him the truth, was how I looked at it. About a week later, he's drunk. What were you doing with that guy? Now, this become a constant thing. Every few days, he'd pull it out of his back pocket and come at me with it again.
The same situation.
Yes. You know, the on repeat broken record until you finally lose your mind and flip out. And then they're calm after you flip out. But yeah. So we're at the laundromat one night. Out of nowhere. Different neighborhood than we normally live in. And I'm putting the clothes in the washer and I look up and that guy is on the other side putting his clothes in the washer too. So I go back and sit down next to Idiot and I tell him, hey, there's the guy from the temporary service. He sat there calm for a minute and then a few minutes later, and I don't know how it happened. All I know is Idiot was jumping over the machines after this guy and punched him in the face. So then he grabs some of the clothes out of the machines and puts them in a basket. Not all of them, just some of them. Throws them in the back of the pickup truck and tells me to get in the truck. Goes 2 blocks up the street and puts me out on the side of the road and pulls off. I am 7 months pregnant at the time. So I was an idiot and I told the police I didn't know where he was going and they already knew where I lived. So I didn't go home that night. I went to a friend's house and we drove by the house and the police were actually sitting outside the house. So I thought if I go to my own house, they're going to arrest me for lying to them. So I went to her house. I came back the next morning and he just wasn't there. So I guess that's how he ended up in jail that night. And stayed, and then I found out I was pregnant, that first time. And here I am 7 months pregnant. We're doing it again. So this time was for that. After that, they came to pick him up for child support again. And he had my truck, and I had baby magazines, baby magazine, and it had my address on it. And when they came to pick him up, he ran. So they came to my house. There had to have been 15 police cars in the complex.
For child support.
For child support? Yeah. For child support, right? Right? Child support?
Y'all, I swear this stuff is not made up.
So it's not. So I get kicked out of my apartment because of all the police activity.
What?
Yes. Somehow he comes up with, he knows he's going to be staying in jail. He gives his friends some money to give to me. Where'd the money come from? Where's this money come from? Thousands of dollars? Where'd this money come from? So I go to pick up I go to the police station to finally, because they were going to arrest me if I didn't tell them where he was. They disabled my vehicle by disconnecting the distributor wires and
The police did.
They left it that way. So here I am 7 months pregnant having to figure out what distributor wire goes on which plug.
Because they didn't want you to try to take off?
Yeah. What do I have to do with this?
Whatever this is.
Yes.
Did you even ever find out?
No. And the funny thing is, there were a couple of cops that came into the apartment, and I had a bag, my box of Surf laundry detergent had broke. And so I poured it in a Ziploc bag, and I had the Ziploc bag sitting on the floor. And 2 of them dove for the damn thing. So what was really going on? This is not child support.
Yeah. That's what he told you he was going to jail for. But then they let him out?
They let him out. If he abused me, they let him out. Child support, they let
You
him
called
out.
the
Every
police?
time he did anything, let him out. They just always let him out.
Wait. You called the police when he was doing this, when he would abuse you?
I called one time when and he walked in my front door at 6 o'clock the next morning
What
before
did
I
he
could do
do?
anything.
What did he do the one time that you called?
Okay, I had 3 kids by then.
By
And
him?
yes, my youngest was 2 years old and still nursing. So
Wow,
I
kudos
got
to
that hair
you.
on. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and um, I heard the truck coming down the road, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I knew it was going to be one of those nights. So I just laid there, quiet. He came in and he turned the stereo up on 10, blasting the whole neighborhood at 2 o'clock in the morning. Never seen this behavior before. He comes in and he sits down on the couch, and my daughter woke up and came in, and he called her over to sit on his lap to look at pictures, and started telling her all kinds of things. Oh, your mother's this, and your mother's that, and your mother's this, and your mother's that, and your mother did this, and your mother did that. She's 4, maybe 5. So I finally woke up out of my trauma-induced paralysis, and I walked over and sat down in the chair, and my youngest woke up and came in and jumped up on my lap and pulled up my shirt and started nursing. He dropped my daughter on the floor, came over across the room and started punching me, one fist after the other, in my face, with my son still latched. So I had to just lean forward and drop my son on the floor so my son didn't get hit too. My daughter jumped down and went and ran under the bed. My middle child, of course, hid in his bed the whole time, probably slept through it. But I picked up the phone to call the police, and they picked up before he pulled it out of the wall. So they were standing on the porch listening to what was going on for a long time. Yes, they understood
They
exactly.
arrived while he was still hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't
He was
come in?
screaming at the top of his lungs, stomping around. They heard it all. They heard me screaming. They heard him screaming. And so they finally knocked on the door and came in and put him in handcuffs and took him away. But that was like 2 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock, he walked through my front door. And it was something that I was supposed to solve for him. I made this situation happen. I have to figure out how to fix it.
That was the first and last time you called.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna get sick of me popping up in the middle of these episodes because y'all like, what is we doing? What is we doing? Listen, I be getting on these conversation calls and I don't expect them to last this long. And I know you ain't got all the time in the world to be sitting here for a full 3 hours listening to one person. So here we are again, another split episode, and that's okay because Dawna got this thing rocking. I forgot to tell y'all, put your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle, grab your mouth guards, your helmets, your knee pads, your elbow pads, and your neck brace because, baby, Dawna done been down through that. You hear me? But she is gonna be all right. You know why? Because she said, I'm choosing me. And because I'm choosing me, I'm going to change the world. So y'all just hang on out. We'll be back next week with part 2 of the foolishness that Dawna has lived through. Like her whole life, your whole life. It's a lot of people out here complaining about stuff, but this woman has been down through there. And guess what? She is still standing strong. I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy that we get to have this conversation. So let me wrap it up because you done heard enough for now. We'll be back next week for part 2 with Miss Dawna. Meantime, in between time, you know what it is. We gone. Pew, 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 pew.